Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. Before we fought you all here on Operation Goodwood, I believe a workshop map. Anyway, it's on the Eastern Front today. Let's go through the players. We have the Germans, we have Smokey as Wehrmacht with Panzerdivision. Yeah, please don't flame as Panzerdivision for the Wehrmacht as well. We have Republican as Panzer Tactics for the Waffen-SS. And we have Ducati. Yeah, Ducati. Sturm Tactics for the Waffen-SS. Okay, so triple Panzer. This is going to be interesting late game. Represent the Soviet Union. Yeah, BH-18 as Tank Destroyer. Already a good choice just because of what they're fighting. BB-1 as the Soviet Union without a commander. Arranged Karma as Shock Division. That's a generally a good choice. And Chewie as Shock Division. So double shock up there. That's going to be very potent. And BB-1 is going for tank. Okay. So good variety for the Soviets, I guess. Double shock can definitely mean that the northern flank is going to get overrun with very good Soviet infantry at some point. We have some German forces moving around here, trying to get up to the outskirts of this town, what the Soviets have already gotten to. Germany is also securing the center here for a brief while. Germans are slowly spreading out to secure territory. You can see how the Waffen-SS and the Wehrmacht dolls working together against the might of the Soviet Union coming their way. Because it's going to be a lot of Soviets. Germany is going to have to fight off against the double sappers here. Ooh, depending on how things go, they might be able to do it. But once they start taking losses, it'll be very noticeable. Ooh, flanking around, they're very smart. When they're going out, Sturmpaniers manages to take the point but have to fall back. Valorians are coming up behind it though. So they might be able to contest those sappers. Meanwhile, we have the stream of conscripts already arriving. That's going to make it very hard for the Germans to take that back, but the Germans have already reached the other field points, so they should be able to keep that safe, potentially. The Valorians are now here. Let's quickly load the MP40. Conscripts are building sandbags behind the sappers. The sappers sacrifice themselves to take the point. And while more and more conscripts are arriving. Oh yeah, they're going to try to overrun these Valonians. I don't think the Valonians are prepared to fight this many conscripts. Yeah, well, we have some Soviets at the center here. Being pinned between two Sturmpaniers, but the Sturmpaniers are being shot at. There's just too many Soviets here. This is really the power of the Soviets early game too, especially in team games. There's just so many of them. So the Germans should really have to be very cautious where you move. Oh good, grenade assault. That might have saved the Sturmpanier. Then the Volkswagen just got up behind the sandbags there. Now the Valonians have to fall back into the sandbag position, so the Soviets hold an orphan field for now. And have secured their backlines as well. Wehrmacht has secured the southern flank and the entryway to this town or city. The outskirts of it anyway. Germans also set behind this crashed plane. Some bomber apparently. See, Germans are taking up most places, getting some machine guns out. Double MT42. Conscripts goes down in the center. Big Soviet push on the northern flank here. Conscripts are being very aggressive through the forest. Balloons are just not capable of fighting this many. MG-34 to set up. Molotovs are taking out the Germans one by one. MG-34 is now suppressing. Doing what it's supposed to do. Montevideo are arriving, however. But the Germans are all just lacking forces on the northern flank here. But the MG-34 is saving the front line at the moment. We also have another MG-42 actually arriving here for more Panzer Grenadiers. They're gonna definitely have the machine guns. The Wehrmacht is mining up the southern flank. Because the Wehrmacht has been able to hold this southern road here. While the Waffen-SS is able to hold this forest area. Apparently someone does not like something about someone, I guess. Looks like we have a truck arriving here. We also have a small AT gun here. And yeah, I'm curious what the hell is going on. Why are some people angry with one another? MG-34 is already showing itself, being a very good weapon here. Doing a lot of damage to the Germans. Not the Russians, I mean. We also have several Sturmpaniers now relocating. And also more Valonians called in. This is a small ability where you can call in 2 squads. Already armed with MP-34s. They get a little bit of an assault force there, basically. MP4 is being handed out to the Storm Pioneers. I guess they're going to help assault this point. to give it back in German hands. And here comes the Wallonians. Storm Pioneers are leading the charge. Need to get to areas of cover. Universal Carrier arriving here for the Soviet Union, as well as Dushka. Double shock is going to be very difficult to fight, but the Storm Pioneers are getting closer and closer. Wallonians also arriving. It's a very big assault here from the Germans. Dushka has set up, however. Trying to be in a good overwatch position. Is already killing FF here, the Storm Pioneers. One squad down. But the Wallonians and the Storm Pioneers getting close. Ooh, Wallonians are getting cut down there. Storm Pioneers is getting under flank though. Doing a great assault. Only managed to throw one grenade. You know, machine guns for the Germans are holding up the rest of the front line though. And the Germans have dug in. So I think they'll be able to repulse any Soviet push early on. Most of the fighting will be up here, but the Germans so far have secured the fuel, so they are gonna get the fuel advantage. Also the Panzer squad arriving here. But I think the Dushka is gonna try and single them out. And so far it's focusing on these Wallonians still. Take up for one of the Germans. Also take up down here. Have a German, Russian Jeep just sitting around. Keeping an eye on the front line, I suppose. Not much else fit to do. We have some shock troopers here, double armed with double DPM. That's generally a very good unit here for the Soviets. I think that MG34 is going to lose this fight. Double light machine gun and they're in heavy cover. And they're only in medium cover back here. Yeah, so they have to pull back immediately. They might not even get out of that. It looks like they do make it though. Ooh, Storm Pioneers and Panzer is trying to push up here. That's not going to work. Russians are keeping a good eye on this road, and this road is negative cover. So you are very easy to hit if you move out. The Germans have set up a 4 HQ around the center. And the Wehrmacht is holding down the front line. Keep pushing out, gets shot at. Oh, good job. We have a 2-2-2 here. Camouflage keeping an overwatch position around this path. Guess the Wehrmacht is just slowly taking it very calmly. We also have a mortar arriving here for the Waffen-SS. More machine guns as well. Looks like the Germans are just going to dig in for the long haul. Probably awaiting Panzer support. Russians have secured the fuel again. And now the battlefield is somewhat even, I think. I have to think it is dead even, looking at the map split. Just that this road for some reason moves all the way down here. Big Wallonian push here. Oh, you don't want to bunch up like that, you're just going to become easier to suppress. Because now the double DPMs can suppress a lot more. German starts building up behind the cover though. We have another shock Panzerwiki here with double DPM as well. I think they're going to be able to hold this point for a while. Also have a recon squad arriving here to get up and help. And the Universal Carrier remains back here just to provide some more fire support. But so far looking good for the Soviets. That's for certain, unless the Germans prepare for something else. And the Wallonians has some good shots out here. Oh, they can also be enforced from the Universal Carrier, that's right. As long as the Universal Carrier stands still, they can be enforced from it. It's a very important thing about it, actually. Because it serves as a transport vehicle. Grenade going out there. We do have another MG34 here for the Germans. Another MG34 moving up. Germans don't have anything to stop this Universal Carrier at the moment. We do have a Panzerjäger coming up. They have suppressed it though, so it cannot fire its Bren gun. And the mortar is starting to try and reveal itself here, doing a fair amount of damage, but not any kills. Yeah, well, the Wehrmacht pushed up here with a 2-2, completely missed it. We got a Soviet mortar. Small AT gun is nearby. And they'll be able to take out the 2-2, I think. Oh, it has Radpanzer! Oh, that's going to actually make it a little bit more difficult for the 45mm to take care of. Never mind. But looks like the 2-2 doesn't want to dare it. More Germans trying to push up for the road here, but the Soviets had set up a Dushka position. And it looks like the Soviets also digging in along the front line. But Germans really want to push up and try and take the point, which is understandable. Also have an armored car for the Soviets now. Most of the fighting just seems to be around here at the moment, but the Soviets have called in an artillery strike. Thanks to the recon, they're using a coordinated artillery strike, so the mortar should be more precise. Get right in front of the sandbag this time, though. Oh, double mortar and then using coordinated. That's nice, actually. But that is a 2-2 that could spot them. Because the 2-2 is kind of a recon vehicle. Yeah, they've been spotted. I want to get out of there. Yeah, there they go. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, the mortar still doesn't seem to do that much damage this time. They have an awful flank. The Soviets still hold the point. Soviets is making a push down here with some more shock troopers. But Germans still holding on with their Wallonian troops. 2-2 is threatening the Soviet front line. Just digging in a bunker. We do have some tank destroyer guards with PTIs, which could threaten it. Problem is it has some Radpanzer. It's not going to be easy for him to penetrate at a long range, as you can see. Radpanzer is very powerful. And still no penetration. That's why I always recommend getting the Radpanzer. It really improves the survivability of the 2-2-2. Double T-70 coming out for one of the Soviet players. That was being shut up by the MG-42. Well, the German front line of the Wehrmacht is pretty stable at the moment, so I think they're in a good position. And my car pushing up towards the Waffen-SS though. Great assault on the Universal K, only doing minimal damage. One T-54 is being prepared. One T-54-76 has arrived already. It just needs to move to the front line. Well, Germans have been very secure in their positioning. Also, this is going to be a forward headquarters bunker. Okay. Very fascinating. Huh. I didn't know that Soviets could actually make the bunker into an headquarters bunker. That's doing something new every day. There's both a medic and a headquarters bunker at the same time. I don't know that was actually possible. Let's almost make a little bit of a roadblock here. Forward HQ set by the Soviets there, but there's not a lot of action on this part of the front. Here, while the Germans are still building up and preparing. They do have a Panzer IV arriving early. One on counter-barrage mode to deal with the Soviet mortars. Oh, 2-2 went down. I completely missed that. What killed it? Probably this 45mm. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, the T-70s have arrived. Which is how effective will double T-70 be. So it's like getting the medium tanks, but the Germans do have their Panzer IV medium tank up. Already driving forwards. So it's also prepared some mines in case the Germans come up this road. Very smart. Smoke shells are going in. Because the Germans are preparing an assault. But it's going to be a great assault of the shock troopers. Through the smoke. Didn't do much though, and that Panzer IV is already in trouble. Because the sheer amount of Soviet equipment. Smoke pop though. Grenades going out. Panzer IV is down. Out of control. Able the T-70s are pushing up on the southern flank. There is Pax though. That Pax will be able to take the T-70s with no problem. We also have a T-60 arriving, so lots of light tanks on this flank. Oh, T-60 is being very aggressive here. Panzerfaust kills it though. Soviets are still aiming with their mortars. It just needs to take out this pack, but the problem is the Germans with a medic bunker. You know, the other flank, the Soviets are pushing up against the sticker points. We also have a Stuk E. E-34s are leading the way with some shock troopers. The Waffen is doing their best with their Wallonian troops to hold the flank. Artillery landing. Oh, one shot landing straight on the T-34. But the Wehrmacht is also holding down here. They're just very bunched up. This gun can also be used for an artillery piece. Remember that. Oh, one Soviet mortar has actually done a good job already. 12 kills.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
Also remember, the CIS gun is another artillery piece you can utilize. It can actually be quite potent. Little T-34s are still around. Crimson getting Raketenwerfer, another Panzer J has arrived. Stuk E pulled back for repairs. We also have his command Stuk. So a lot of equipment is arriving here for the Germans now. German more doing its best in counter barrage, but it's dealing with a lot of artillery pieces on its own. Including the CIS gun now, which is also serving as a field gun. At least the explosions aren't as big anymore. So if it hits something, it might kill it. Command Stuk moving up here from the other German Wehrmacht player. Oh, but he hit immediately by a CIS gun. Popping some smoke. Calling an artillery barrage. That might be a waste, I feel. I feel the smoke might disappear soon. There it goes. Another command Stuk coming up, but the CIS gun is just in a good position there. They're still fighting for the fuel up here. It looks like we have a little bit of a static fight on both ends at the moment. While the middle is just being completely ignored by either side. I suppose the Germans are keeping some machine guns and defenses there just in the case, but the Russians has left it kinda open apart from a few emplacements. The Lone's getting close, but the Russians are just too dug in. They also have several T-34s arriving, which is only gonna get worse the longer the battle goes on. T-34s pushing on the southern flank. If the Russians can take out the packs, they should be fine. The packs are doing a good job, though. High explosives loaded. It might be too late. So far they're holding on, but the T-34 is going to get taken out. The Germans' forward bunker there is just really helping them hold on. I think the Soviets should invest in another mortar, perhaps. Because they have taken out the German mortar at this point. And the Russians definitely have the resources for another mortar. HU-76 coming out. On the other flank we have smoke and artillery landing about the point. So the Germans are going for another go at the point. It's just a lot of Russians. We have some T-34 riders, shock troopers armed and tied with PPSHs. They'll more that stuff as they get close. T-34 taken out. They all suppressed everything with shock artillery. And now the T-34 is just gonna rip everything apart. With the shock troopers on the back, just mowing stuff down. Quite a good Panzerschreck there though. I think the shock troopers should disembark at this point. Well, so far it's working pretty well for the Soviets here. And that was a very aggressive and effective move from the Soviet Union. But they lost one T-34, but still for what they killed, I'd say that was very much worth it. Especially now that there's a follow-up action going, but this bunker is still holding on. Both shock troopers make it out there alive though, which is a big deal. And big losses there for the Germans. The Soviet Union just keeps pushing. You have a shock officer present. Buying his Tokarev pistol. This gun present there. More mortars arriving for the Soviet Union now. Although they're just doing a lot of damage to the German defenses. I guess the Wehrmacht is seeing what the hell happened over the other flank to the Waffen-SS now, and it's probably not looking good for them morale-wise. That the other flank seems to be on the verge of collapse. Oh, we have more Soviet naval infantry called in. I'd like to see that. I think Chile has a taste. I believe I've seen Chile before. Just use the naval infantry as a call in. Very nice. Ooh, artillery there. One shell landed straight on the Panzer IV, doing a little bit of minimal damage. But the Panzer IV arriving. Alone's not gonna get far, I think. NT-34 in Soviet hands. And now the naval infantry is present, grabbing all the equipment they can find. They can cut down in the open there to all the veteran, veteran storm pioneers. Here comes the shock troopers though. A double DPM is definitely shooting them down. They're going on the naval infantry. But immediately they're gonna starting to get cut down by the DPMs. Just a lot of firepower there for the shock troopers. But the Panzer IVs are present. The Soviets are doing a retreat again. Looks like the Germans managed to hold off the Soviets for now. On the other flank, the German defenses have kind of collapsed. They're still holding on, but as the artillery just keeps raining in, I think it'll soon be too much for the Germans to hold. They're quickly trying to build some more defenses behind. Not sure how long that will hold at this point. SC-76 could switch to high explosives, which I would probably recommend they do in this situation instead of using AP shells. But the pack might hit. I don't think the pack has the time to change. Here comes the Stuk though, and that is the destroyed SU-76.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
T-34-85s now arriving for the Soviet Union. A big fight here again by the forest clearing. T-34 is doing its best to hold them back. It's got an improvised armor on top now. It's gonna be even harder to deal with as T-34 is. Here comes more Panzer IVs, I mean. Several Panzer IVs has arrived for the Germans. A strategic reserve, I imagine, to try and push back the Soviet Union. The Soviets still have to prepare for their next move, I imagine. And the Soviets are pushing up in the field down here, finally. Germans are trying to dig up behind this. Might be able to hold them off once the smoke clears. But the fight continues up here. Panzer IVs are doing their best, but the T-34 with a command is actually doing a really good job. It's almost an ace crew at this point. Yeah, meanwhile down here, the field is still in neutral hands. The Germans now have another defensive line set up. Also defenses and very entrenched troops. But it is not in German hands yet. Field airdrop in the Soviet bases, we can see from the plane. There we go. Was that a heavy tank? Aha, we're seeing upgrades for the IS-2, so I imagine we're gonna see an IS-2 at some point. Let's see, naval infantry and shock troopers moving up. Just to keep an eye on the field point. Germans are still a little bit on the back foot. But they're able to secure the southern field again. Lots of Soviets screwing about. Soviets are trying to dig in behind the smoke now. And he has more shock troopers. Like having double shock on one front is probably very dangerous to deal with. Versus him on the firepower they can bring. But is it probably the most manpower intensive Soviet commander as I understand. As the units are not cheap. Like shock troopers are actually fairly expensive. Panzer IV is nearby still. We still have a Panzer IV H now. Look, that went down over here by looks of it. So it's still around, trying to get away onto the point. T-34 Decruit, that was the ace team. You have an 85 nearby that can be used if it wants to move up and try its luck. T-34 76 already trying to be repaired during the battle. 85 turning around the corner to repair its gun. But it got penetrated and immediately lost its gun! That can't happen. Ooh, they're being very aggressive here. German infantry coming up behind. Companies are going to try and take the point. Dushke is trailing on them, I think. Even if we got recruits. So far it's holding. One Panzer 48 out. Maybe more to also get some good shots in. Panzer 48 is holding them back at long range. But the Germans still haven't been able to take the fuel. You also have a Panzer 4 pushing up down the road here. There are mines, and the Dushka has been decrewed. Storm Pioneers have not triggered the mines yet. Throwing assault grenades in. Panzer 4 start moved up. Panzer 4 T-34 85 is turning around though. Panzer 4 is moving up. Artillery going in. Big assault over here. You have a Tiger tank also arriving. Panzer 4 moving, might hit a mine. Shock troopers don't have any AT equipment. But 85 gets a good shot in, killing it. And with the southern flank, looks like we also had an engagement there that I completely missed. T-34 also pushing up. But Packs are getting good shots in. Overall, just a very big operation here from the Soviet Union.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
T-34 is quickly turning back. You also have a Tiger tank arriving. There it is. The Germans are getting some equipment out. Oh, he still destroyed the cover there of the shock troopers, forcing them back. 85 is moving up, that's very brave of it. Gets taken out by the H. Shock troopers pushing up with their PPSHs, but that might be a lot of fire coming their way still. But they're gonna take out the team of the Raketenwerfer. There it goes. Here comes more Soviet infantry. On the southern flank, the Soviets have still been unable to take the point. And so much action. Tiger tank getting some good shots in. Getting upgraded with machine gun on top to help. Sappers moving down the road. I'm not sure that's a good idea, in all honesty. I suppose it will apply some pressure. Goes have secured the point. We also have another 85 here. Oh, explosive kills the lieutenant of the Soviet Union there. That's what they've been calling on the German positions. By the Soviet recon, I imagine. Yep, another coordinated barrage. Should mean all these mortars are firing together. Looks like they are. Good to see. Very underutilized ability. We also have some Siberians here. And German defense is just slowly getting whittled down by artillery and pressure. But they now have a Tiger tank and Overwatch, but the Germans need to take the point back still. That's a howitzer. Yeah, Soviets instead of a howitzer here, a 152mm. Oh, no penetration there. Something hit straight on the Tiger and just deflected. UP-45 moving up for a shot. Sturmtiger has arrived. And that's a huge deal that the Soviets need to react quickly to. Because the Sturmtiger can really just change the team game around. That's the power of the Sturmtiger. Depends on where they want to shoot it though is the question. Because you do need line of sight to fire this thing. Or at least vision, to be honest. Tiger tank is holding the Soviets back well so far on its own. So it's still trying to bombard the German defenses into submission. Issue Defier arriving, I think. Tiger tank has pulled back, took the damage shot from a T-3045. Doomtiger's not fired yet. Yeah, go it fires. Takes out one of the 85s and some infantry. Keep Panzer 4 down, however. Oh, and the Tiger tank. No, Tiger tank did not go down. I just thought I saw the silhouette in an artillery strike there, but it's back here. It's still fine. Just needs repairs. King Tiger has arrived for the Germans. Okay, so the heaviest armored vehicles of the Panzer divisions are present. But a big push here from the Soviet Union. Lots of infantry running over the field alongside this T-34. Grenades going in on it. Of course, it doesn't do much to the tank itself. And the southern flank, we don't have a lot of action yet, just artillery strikes still. Tiger tank there has to pull back for somewhere safer to get repairs. But the King Tiger is moving up here evidently to help supplement. Panzer 4H is doing very good in his overwatch position here. More T-34 surviving for the Soviet Union. Ooh, and the King Tiger is going to be quite a shock, I think, for the Soviets. But we do have the naval defense get around. But here comes all the Vallonians with MP-34s. Tiger tank is pulled back here for repairs, good to see. So it's still trying to break through down here. There's also tank wrecks and lots of mortars still. But here comes the Vallonian push with the Panzer 4H command tank and the King Tiger behind it. Soviets are not prepared to deal with the King Tiger, I think. They do have their howitzer, and they will soon be ready to fire. This is trying to get pulled back quick, but I might be too late. There it goes. Do have a captured pack. It's been quite aggressive here. Another 85 has arrived. Maxim holding up down here in the trench. And that's the captured MG-44. Man tank down. King Tiger start getting shots in. Now the King Tiger is very hard to deal with, let's just say. This thing's frontal armor is kinda nuts. I think only the Jagdtiger has more frontal armor than the King Tiger has. So I don't think the Soviets are gonna do much damage to this frontally unless they can get some lucky shots in. A satchel charge will have to be forced to move. You also have two Tiger tanks to support it. Ace from the satchel charge for nothing else. Oh, Howitzer could do some damage though if it can track it. Deflections do cause a little bit of damage now, so you can slowly whittle down a super heavy tank. Just takes a while. Howitzer's aiming a little bit too far back though. Looks like there was a Sturmtiger shot. And here comes all the Germans. This is a lot of heavy panzers. Oh, quick Pringle shot from an 85. That King Tiger has to pull back for repairs, I think. But the Tiger tanks can keep pushing. Meanwhile, on the other flank, we have an artillery strike going in again and a coordinated barrage. The things are going a little bit slower and static on the other flank, but the panzers are all pushing up here. That is a lot of panzers. 3 Tigers in one area. That is a nightmare to deal with. The King Tiger still has to pull back, and there's also the Sturmtiger in for support. This is insane. A satchel charge aiming straight at the King on the Tiger. It's not moving. Takes it out.
Heavy armor has been lost.
Another 85 arriving. Unless they can get the IS-2s, I do think the 85 is their only choice. The howitzer can do stuff and it can hit, but it's not easy. Looks for first firing. Aiming for the town. Several buildings in the town is on fire now. And all the heavy armor is just moving up. Storm Tiger also flying into the town. Flattening more of it. I definitely think the Germans are sending a lot of equipment to this place. This is apparently a very important spot.
We've lost a squad of infantry. T-34 crude loaded and ready.
But 85s keep rolling in. But the Soviets have kind of run out of units at the moment. They have set the bridge ready to blow. In case they do get pushed out of the town.
We have a new Panzer.
That way they can keep the resources up here and the howitzers. Or at least prevent them from falling into German hands.
Has released the Tiger for
But the howitzer firing. '85 did not penetrate there. 85 trying again. Doesn't penetrate. Doesn't penetrate again. These Tigers are actually doing a very good job. The King Tiger's ready to move again, I think. Yeah. Ooh, good shot down a Tiger tank. Engine damage on one. Engine damage on both, actually. Those Tigers have to pull back for repairs. I'm gonna be out of action for a little bit. The Germans are pushing up an infantry, but the shock troopers are there to prevent it. One Tiger tank down again. So the 85 sniped it, but the other Tiger killed it in response. And the Russians have secured the point down here. And here comes more naval infantry riding on T-34s. Can they overwhelm this Tiger? Oh, it missed. It's ramming. I think, yeah, they have to pull out quickly. Oh, they destroyed the main gun of the Tiger. AT going out and Tiger down. Man, this is a lot of fighting, holy shit. This is a very heavy tank battle in this small area. All Panzer IVs are riding, the Sturm Tiger is also prepared, they just need to target. Panzer IVs can hold. All Panzer IVs arriving. It looks like the loader got taken out there on the T-34. Push down here, looks like an H-85 is pushing up. Almost takes out that Tiger. Panzer IV not having the best luck. The H-85 has to quit space so he can turn on the H. King Tiger's also driving up now. 85 down. But King Tiger's now revealing itself. Explosive loaded. Under shot. Panzer IV is leading the charge up here to distract. Or at least do some damage while the King Tiger just soaks up all the shells. Yeah, the Soviets, I don't think have enough equipment here to stop it. Another 85 is quickly rushing to the front line. Oh boy. Like, this is a huge tank battle. We also have more Panzer IVs. Jay's pushing up here.
The enemy is trying to destroy a structure.
So many tanks. The King Tiger's pushing very far forward. On the other flank, the Panzer IV still holding back here. King Tiger has been marked, but the Soviets, I don't think have any AT equipment that can deal with it. They just don't have what they need. Is that gonna be an SU-100? Yes, that's indeed an SU-100. That might be able to do it. 80 they're not doing anything but scratch the panes. 85 keeping an eye on the center here. Artillery still prevent the German tanks from getting too close on this flank. 85 is slowly taking out the Panzer IVs in the center. But so it's already being cut apart from this King Tiger. Or by this King Tiger, rather. Soviets are doing their best with a late defense, but it's not going to be enough, I think. On a high explosive loader, probably aiming for the turret. No, aim for the Siberians and killing them. And obviously the AT rifle's not going to do anything to a King Tiger. Even the Captain Panzerfaust does nothing. It's just too frontally armored. 85 is getting some shots under the flank here. So there's first rockets landing. And doesn't hit a lot. They're still trying bravely, I'll give the Soviets that. But this King Tiger just does not care. 85 is still around here. Sturmtiger is also pushing up. Probably gonna aim for a shot around here. Depends, I guess. Germans can still hold the front here. They've stabilized that for now. Artillery calling in front of the King Tiger. Here's the SU-100. Pan for now being prepared by the Germans. Probably a good choice. Stormtiger needs to decide where he wants to shoot. Gus is taking some shots now. We also have another Tiger here. Oh, SU-100 might be in trouble. It's gonna focus on the Tiger. Makes sense. They got a good shot there. But it has to back off. It does have high armor. That's a good gun, but it has don't have very impressive armor. Also pretty long range though. Oh, engine is burning on the King Tiger. Takes up the H there. Good long range shot. Sturmtiger's trying to fire. Has to back off after that, I think. IS-2 arriving here now for the Soviet Union. His tank battle has escalated. This might be the one Soviet tank that can face the King Tiger frontally. Oh, SU-100 got a good shot there on the flank. King Tiger has to back off. Sturmtiger shot. Just a little bit wasted at that point, but what can you do? Sturmtiger down to the IS-2. And also the Tiger destroyed this. Germans just lost a lot of panzers quickly. Looks like the King Tiger is trying to get a shot at IS-2 though. And the IS-2 wasted a shot on some infantry. Oh boy, this is very intense. Double T-3045 to back off the IS. Or back up the IS, I mean. They're trying to trail down where that King Tiger is. There's packs to coverage retreat though.
Political officers are ready to deploy, Comrade Commander.
Germans could set up at the repair station back here somewhere. Definitely need it. Oh, IS has to move all those folks because they have Panzerfausts. Oh, and we have a Panzer shot on the flank. IS-2 down. Maybe tanks are very hard to utilize. And the Soviets are going to try and prepare push up here by the looks of it. Do another Tiger arriving up here again. That is a lot of armored vehicles. I can see why the replay when it was sent to me was called Tanks for All the Fish. I actually think that's also what I'm going to call the video. Just because they're definitely right. Lots of tanks being utilized here. From both sides. Big push here from the Valonians. Looks like it's working out for the Germans.
Have been lost.
Ooh, Panzer IV does go down. Let's look at all the wrecks around here.
One of our AT guns has
Like,
been
that's
neutralized.
several Tiger wrecks in a small area. And then we have a 4th Tiger coming up here. And the southern flank was the King Tiger. It's being repaired down there in the corner. So there's push shots landing around. Actually destroying the bridge. That's a problem for the Soviet Union, I think. That was a pretty impressive Stuka shot. Soviets, German tank has to pull back, but the Soviets is getting close again. But 85 is on the hunt. Where's the shot though, and it gets killed by the Tiger.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
H-85 and H-100 though on the prowl. I'm trying to brawl with the Panther here. Didn't penetrate. It's a risky thing to brawl with a Panther. Even for the H-100, I think. As you can see. Yeah, no penetration. Has to pull back, I think. It's just being killed off by the Panther slowly. No penetration this time. And smoke pop by the Panther. Oh, SU-100 gets it though. Ah, I suppose miracles do happen. Panzer IV dealing with this T-34 over the bridge. So Panzer IV's down there, but the Soviets can now no longer use this bridge. That's going to slow down the advance significantly. Red Air Force is flying overhead, providing eyes and something. Probably where the Panther was. The Soviets need to set up a repair station or something. But the King Tiger's moving again. No other IS-2 arriving for the tank commander yet. H-85 gets shot by the King Tiger, killing it instantly. Spinning it, making it spin out of control.
Another vehicle has been lost.
H-100 is keeping an overwatch here. Got a good shot in on the King Tiger. That's gonna force the King Tiger back for a while. I don't know about that SU-100. It's a very reliable tank destroyer. Yeah, 100mm gun. Ooh. 85 going in to try and see if they can snipe a kill. That's not a good idea for the King Tiger. For the 85, yeah, King Tiger kills it.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
Another Sturm Tiger has arrived, and several more Panzers, and Stuka is arriving as well. This is a very open map on this end for a tank battle, so Tiger's just slowly killing everything on this side though. Stormtroopers have cleared out the other side here above the railroads. And 85 goes down. More naval infantry has arrived here for the Soviet Union. Ooh. So it's first doing close range fire. Yeah, it takes up this part of the railroads. And down here, the T-34 is just not doing well in this open engagement at the moment. Several shock troopers are moving ahead of it. Mines have been prepared by the Germans, though. Sturm Tiger is also ready to fire soon, I think. Where's the King Tiger? Still being repaired back here. SU-100 on Overwatch. Tiger tank pushing up here again. So many wrecks of heavy vehicles here. Definitely one of the more interesting battles I've seen. Just so many tanks. On both sides.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
King Tiger's ready to push up again. But yes, 100 is being ready. Oh, that's a risky move. No penetration. Oh, good shot there! But I think the King Tiger could kill it here. Yeah, there goes. A very good shot for MSG-100 still, despite its death. More Germans and Wallonians moving into the town here. And Tiger Tank and Panzer IV J is just slowly keeping up the rear of this destroyed town. Oh, good satchel charge killing the Wallonians there. Another 85 down. The 85s are just being cut to pieces. Tiger flanks here. That's another dead 85. King Tiger's being marked by the Red Air Force. They're keeping an eye on it. Oh, good job with assist. Stopping it to be repaired by doing some supporting fire. Another Panther arriving. And this is a truly open battle we have going. Judge of the scheme, this flank held by the Soviet Union. Grenade assault going their way though. They have to get out of there, I think. Especially with the Tiger coming up. Throwing a satchel charge. Only days is the crew this time. It was not close enough. But it might give the 85 time to get up to a good position. Yeah, it kills it with a flanking shot right in the ammo storage, I think. Now the 85 is going up against this Panzer IV J. You know, the southern flank, the Panther and the Panzer Force are moving up. Several Stuks as well. One Panzer IV down. But so it's just lacking in armor down here to keep the Germans at bay. We have another IS-2 arriving. This 85 is still alive, but I think this Panzer IV might be able to get a flanking shot. Nope. Oh, 85 misses it! It's the wreck! That might be the death of this 85. Yeah. Able the Germans overrunning this flank, but they are losing Panzers to do it. King Tiger's also ready to move again. IS-2 and IS-85 moving up. But at this point, the Soviets surrender before wanting to continue. The other flank with the Shock Army did collapse entirely to the German counter-offensive. This was truly a tank battle. I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for all the fish.